The core four of networking. Networking is an essential skill in both business and personal development. In the core four of networking segment, I break down key practices for building strong, lasting relationships. Do you know about the core four of networking? Can you tell me what they are? They're right here on the screen. I'll be breaking down the core four 1 week at a time. Week 1, show up. Why simply being present can open doors to success. Week 2, be yourself. Authenticity is the key to forming genuine connections. And then week 3, pay attention. The importance of active listening and being fully engaged with others. And then week 4, follow up. How to maintain and grow relationships beyond the first meeting. That is the core four of networking. What's the most significant networking hurdle that you have faced? And how'd you tackle it? Or are you still working on it? Please share your biggest networking challenge and how you've addressed them, or if you're still working on them, in the comments below. Help me help you. In addition to exploring the core four of networking, this segment will also showcase members of the networking organizations I'm affiliated with, as well as other members and as well as other businesses and professionals in my network. Say that 5 times fast. I'll also provide insights on local networking events that I attend. This Monday is week 2, so today's topic is be yourself. Authenticity is the key to forming genuine connections. Today's topic, like I said, is be yourself. I conducted a class at the professional networking event hosted by Old Colony Business Alliance. The event took place last Tuesday at New York Life, that's 2 Lakeshore Center on the 2nd floor in Bridgewater, Mass. I gave a presentation on the core four of networking. Now, I haven't spoken in front of a group in person for a while, so I figured I'd share with you today what I did. Hold on and hold that thought while I cue up the video. Here it is.
For you that don't know me, my name is Jason Harris, and John's here. Welcome. John's here. And I brought cookies, of course. Oh, look at that. So, anybody want cookies?
Not after watching your.
Okay, of course. I like that. All right, so like I said, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Jason Harris, and I'm unofficially the fittest commercial real estate professional south of Boston, aka Coach Fit Pro J, your diet-free fat loss specialist. So I do commercial real estate transactions, but I also empower real estate professionals and entrepreneurs to take control of their nutrition and fitness. Pretty cool, huh? Show of hands, who here doesn't know me? A couple people, all right. Not too bad. Raise them up high. Who doesn't know me? All right. Perfect. I have another question. Show of hands again. Who here is absolutely terrified of public speaking? No one's terrified? Oh, Karen? Really?
Yeah, probably.
All right. You shy? Okay, come right up. Come on. Join me up here.
Serious?
No, I'm playing. Seriously though, you have a feeling of fear just now when I had you guys try to come up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Well, I can speak in front of children because I do that all day.
So if you want to get rid of that fear that you were just feeling, you guys ever heard of Toastmasters?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Have you heard of Toastmasters before? All right, well, Toastmasters International is a nonprofit organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of clubs. A couple of us in here, Jordan as well as Casey in the back, belong to Spirited Speakers out of Middleborough, and we meet virtually. So if you guys ever want to, do something like that and experience a meeting, let me know. All right? All right, cool. So we covered what? Real estate, commercial real estate. Lou does residential real estate. So anything residential, you pass it on to Lou, right? So I do commercial real estate, like I said, and we covered fitness and public speaking. So that leaves one thing. You guys are probably wondering, especially the ones that don't know me, what qualifies me to be up here talking about networking tonight, right? Yeah? Can anybody vouch for me to talk about networking up here tonight? Besides the one that told me to come up here and do it. All right. So why is that? Why? Why do you vouch for me to be up here and talk about networking? Because I barely qualify myself.
We need the knowledge.
Because I see you at network.
Okay.
I met you.
Because I know you put in the time to learn a lot about it, and you also talk about it on your show. And Albert and I have been on the show with you, and we've seen your expertise.
Awesome. That's right. So for those of you that don't know me, and even if you know me but you don't know I do a show, I do a live broadcast that broadcasts on LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube every first 4 Mondays of the month. So if there's a month that has 5 Mondays in it, I don't do anything on the 5th Monday. The first 4 Mondays of the month. And it's at 7:30 p.m. And I talk about personal and professional development through real estate, fitness, public speaking, and networking. And everything that I talk about on the show, it's really my experience in all those different areas. I'm not an expert by any means in any of those areas. I'm just bringing what I know, my knowledge, to people that may know less than me. Simple as that. So I'm no expert, but I'm going to share with you tonight what I know about networking. You guys cool with that?
Yes.
Yes? All right. Who's here to learn about networking tonight? No, I want to hear it. I want the whole floor to hear it.
All of us.
Who's here to work on networking tonight? That'll work.
Yeah, way louder. Way too loud.
So I've come up with something called the core 4 of networking, all right? And it's kind of the way I think. I try to see patterns in things and, put them together so that they make sense, So maybe you don't know, but I'm gonna explain it to you. So the core 4 of networking, in my experience with networking, I figured there's 4 things you gotta do. Show up, all right, obviously. Be yourself, that's a big one, we'll talk about that. Pay attention, seems pretty common, right? Common sense, but it really isn't, I guess, for people. And then the last thing is follow up, which is probably the most important, we'll talk about that too. So the core 4 of networking. You guys cool if I touch on each one of those?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's why I am here. So show up. Why simply being present can open doors to success. So, as far as showing up is concerned, when I talk about showing up, who here preps before they go to a networking event? Prep? Okay, you prep. You prep. What do you guys do to prep?
How much do you want to know?
The short version, because I gotta talk.
So if I'm going to something like Cranberry Chamber of Commerce, I will try to think of people who are missing from my network group. I will look them up in the registry to see who's available in that particular instance, and then I will try to find and go after them when I go to the meeting.
Why aren't you up here talking?
I like that.
CJ, what do you do?
Usually I come prepared, like similar things to that, like who could be valuable to my network or who can I be of value to, either or. And then also the other thing I always prepare is like, where can I provide value to businesses like right now? So like today, like the telecom thing, that's the big thing I'm seeing right now with the nonprofits and the government building or government municipalities. And so I always try to come prepared with like, where's the spot I can add extra value on top of everything else I do? Like a highlight so people remember.
Awesome. So you guys are trying to get something out of networking. All right. What about you, Al?
Yeah, one of the things is you want to set yourself some goals. As you know, when you go networking, you want to say, today I want to see how many contacts do I want to be able to connect with there. And you're not just going there talking to one person the whole night. You say, I want to at least get a number of contacts that you say, okay, this time I've got 5. Next networking, I want to try to go up, go for get 10.
All right, nice. So anybody else before I continue? All right, so what about showing up as far as like physically? Have you guys ever seen anybody show up to a networking event all disheveled, like physically looking? Yeah? Yeah, I had too. So you gotta kind of prepare that way too, right?
Getting called out.
Hey, listen, I'm not pointing anybody out, they're not here. I'm not talking about I already said that. The other thing you want to do is you want to prepare mentally, right? Like these guys do. They do a little bit of research so they can help people out and help themselves out at the same time. So show up, a little bit of prep. That was the first thing. All right, second thing. Opportunities only come to those in the room. If you're absent, you're missing opportunities.
Yeah.
Has anyone here felt FOMO? Or do you guys know what FOMO is? Fear of missing out. Have you guys ever felt that way when missing a networking event? Yeah? All right. what do you do when you have conflicting things or conflicting work things and networking things? What do? Do you make sure you say yes to every event, or how do you manage that? Or do you even manage it? You guys are laughing back there.
I just triple book myself. I
Triple-
don't figure it out right there.
All right.
Somehow just figure out how to make it, whether if I can go virtually on something or make 30 minutes of this one and 30 of another, and try to make my presence wherever I can.
So you need a secretary. All right.
Basically.
That's what I said. See?
Go ahead, Al.
So I'll tell you, for me, as you know, I mean, I do tons of networking. I go everywhere. I say in the beginning, when you're starting out, first thing to do is at least whatever networking you see is to give it a shot. Try to go to every one of them if you can, okay? The reason for that is then you can pick and choose which one that will work for you. If you don't go to one, you're not gonna be able to see, if that one, like you said, FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. If you don't go to that one, you're never gonna know. But once you attended that one, you say, this is not for me. I don't know. It's whole, different things.
Different feel,
Right.
yeah, different vibe. I hear it. All right. So the third point I wanted to make on showing up was consistency builds visibility and trust. So you got to keep showing up. Does that make sense? Who feels this way? I'm gonna pick us. Jared, why? Why do you feel that way?
Because I think that one element of community is a sense of belonging. So if you're inconsistent, it will be difficult for people to know you and be able to build trust with you.
Like, who's this guy? He shows up every now and again. It's not like one of the regulars, and you get to know the people. That's right, perfect. So showing up is just a fourth of what we're going to talk about tonight. So on to the next. What's the next one?
Be yourself.
Pop quiz. Be yourself, right? Be yourself. Authenticity is the key to forming genuine connections. Make sense? Let me not walk away from my bullet point. I prepared, and I don't want to. Do you know why I have notes? Does anybody know why I have notes?
Because you're
Besides losing my
terrified.
space.
Because you're terrified, just like everyone else.
I know, right?
Stay on track.
Yeah.
I got so much information, I don't want to miss anything. That's why.
Good stuff.
That's what I tell you anyway. So, be yourself. People can't work. People can't connect. Well, it can't work either, but people can't connect with personas. They connect with people. Right? Makes sense? So, when you're real, others feel safe being real too. They kind of open up and they feel more comfortable with you. And that helps build trust. Does that make sense? Let's see. Who has felt when they've spoken with somebody at a networking event and it kind of feels like you're talking to a wall? Have you ever felt that way? Yeah, like this person is listening to me. And you kind of slip some other words in there that they might not be paying attention to make sure they're not paying attention. It's fun, try it. No, but you can tell, people can tell when people are being fake. It's not a good feeling. It's just gonna put their own wall up. So how are you supposed to connect if you're being fake? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Topper.
The other thing is, your story is your superpower. You have life experiences that other people have not had. And it can be valuable to them, to share it with them. You might inspire them, you never know. So you want to be authentic and be a little bit vulnerable yourself. The experiences and perspective you bring are what makes you stand out. Don't try to be like somebody else, be like you. There's only one of you. You're unique. Every one of us is unique. Let your uniqueness shine through. That's your superpower. And then the third thing, as far as be yourself. Authenticity attracts the right opportunities and people. So why wouldn't you want to let your real self shine through? Because it will attract other people like you, like-minded people. And I don't know about you guys, but that's who I want to do business with and hang out with and everything else with. I stay away from the other people. Does that make sense to everybody? Do you guys operate in that way? Yeah, give me an example. I don't want to be the only one talking. Give me an example. Somebody.
So like one of my target markets is people who are like myself. I have twin 6-year-olds, boy-girl twins, are actually showing up tonight because my wife's got a PTO meeting, so they're gonna come and join and participate and learn how to public speak. But I like just being able to talk to people in that same realm and having those kind of connections. Jared and I connect, we're both runners, we have that kind of common thing that we can talk about and share, and it just becomes an easier, your guard is down, not that you need to have guards up, but your guard is down and you're able to have real meaningful conversations that kind of transverse anything that would be like kind of superficially, we're not really trying to talk about those things, I don't really care about them. It's more, let's get into the knowledge of the person, and it's, you know, I like trust, and Speed of Trust is a great book if you haven't read that before, but like, just trust people inherently. You're going to be able to do business with them a lot quicker than someone who you may feel like you have to be kind of guarded against because you're not on the same page and you're trying to find what their motive is versus your motive. So like,
Kind of hold back a little.
yeah, I think it just builds trust when you can find people who have the same kind of connections and underlying behaviors and characteristics and things like that. I don't know if that answers
Awesome.
your
That's an
question.
awesome example as far as you guys getting into running and talking about that together. And you guys have probably had the same examples talking to, you know, like-minded people in different areas. I know I have with a few of you in this room. If the right people only find the real you, are you giving them the chance? So be yourself so that you can attract the correct people. What's the third of the core four of networking?
Listen.
Pay attention.
Oh, follow up. Follow up, yeah.
Listening.
Pay attention.
Pay attention. Pay attention. I heard it a couple of times. I hope you guys are paying attention. So pay attention, the importance of active listening and being fully engaged with others. All right, so listening builds trust faster than talking. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Listening builds trust faster than talking. All right, sounded funny to me. When you actively listen, you make others feel important, and that's powerful. Because I believe they say people remember how you make them feel, not what you say.
Yep.
So make people feel the way you want them. Make them feel positive so they see you in a better light. It doesn't care what you say. It doesn't matter what you say. It matters how you make them feel. That's the point. All right, so pay attention. I got a question for you guys. When was the last time you truly felt heard, and how did it make you feel? In other words, I asked the question earlier about, have you ever talked to somebody and it's like talking to a brick wall, right? This is the opposite. When was the last time you guys talked to somebody and you actually felt good or connection, like they were listening, truly listening? Have you guys experienced that yet? You have. Could you tell me about the example?
I could. Actually, you guys might know this guy. His name's Jason Harris. And the very first Cranberry Chamber of Commerce event I went to was a walkthrough at a farm, at Soul Farm. And he and I had a long discussion. Like, we had a very long discussion. We walked like 2 miles.
Don't forget the goats.
It was good. Yes. Great time. But the thing is I knew he was actually listening because it was a while later where I told him something that I generally just don't tell people in general. But then later on, when you and I did our presentation together, he remembered. Not only did he remember, but he reminded me of my goal, which was great. And so I felt like not only had Jason listened to me, but he appreciated the goal I was setting for myself and was encouraging me to achieve it. So that was probably the best example I've had in my life of active listening.
Awesome. I guess I am qualified to talk a little bit.
I'll let them in, too.
Sure.
We had a meeting with Jordan via Zoom, and it was a great meeting. It wasn't the right fit for the moment, but we felt very heard, and yeah, it was a very
Got some great feedback.
great feedback. We
Mentorship
learned,
program.
so, yeah, we got into
Score.
score, and just it was great. So
It's awesome when someone actually gives it credit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Awesome. Perfect. All right, so pay attention. You can make someone feel very, very good and heard by paying attention.
It's hard. Just keep that in your hand.
You can't make meaningful, this kind of goes with preparing or showing up and mentally. So you can't make meaningful connections if your mind is somewhere else. When we talked about, being mentally there, you're not just your feet and yourself, but mentally you need to be there too. Have you ever been to a networking event and bumped into somebody and talked to them and they were like scattered, they were like looking out the window and like just all over the place? Have you? Yeah, they're not mentally there. How do you expect that person to connect with anybody? They're somewhere else. You don't want to do that. All right, being fully engaged shows respect and care. Eye contact, body language, and focused attention set you apart in a distracted world. All right, so be honest. When someone's talking to you, are you listening or are you thinking about what to say next or about lunch or something? What do you guys do?
Depends on the moment.
I like
What do you
that.
have going on?
Keeping it real, I could have you on the show. Anybody else? Have you felt that? Yeah? Can I have an example? You know I'm going to ask for an example.
I mean, when I tell my kids, oh, you told me I could do that. I'm like, I did? Why did I tell you that? Totally wasn't listening.
Awesome. I think they call that selective hearing.
Possibly. Or you're doing like a million other things and you're being,
Right.
I mean, I'm not listening all the time.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
All right. I love that example. Noticing details today could spark a referral or an opportunity tomorrow, just because you paid attention to something. When you do really listen, you pick up things. You can pick up a problem someone's having, a pain that someone has, or an opportunity that could be had by either you or someone else that's in your network, because that's why we network, right? To try to hook each other up. Yeah? All right. So what's one small detail you've noticed recently in a conversation that could be a big opportunity for somebody else? Have you guys ever had that before? Where you're listening and something the person says reminds you of what someone else is looking for? You have?
Yeah, so some of you here know this. I have this like ongoing mental list in my head of people who I feel like I owe a referral to. And so whenever I'm having a conversation, no matter who the person is in front of me, that's constantly going on in my head that, is this a good person for me for a referral? Or is this somebody that I can refer to somebody else that I feel like, they've helped me out, so I should return the favor. So that's something that constantly goes on in my mind.
Awesome. And we all should. Because the more you help others out, the more you'll get helped out. And always try to help others without expecting anything in return. Just put it out into the universe.
Yeah. If you get a referral from me, I'm not expecting one back, but for some reason, if you give one to me, I have to get you one back. It's just the way my brain works.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
I do.
Geez, I just want to echo on that.
Yeah, please.
One of the things is when you go networking, you speak with someone, and when you listen to them, a lot of times it's not about, I never think about my business. I always think about who can I refer people to you, or how can I have refer people to you. It's always to listen. Then it's almost like that way you would be able to build a trust from there. Someone is more willing to follow up with you, which we'll talk later on. But then it's almost like if I say, you know what, I think I have someone that I may be able to utilize your services. If I call you, you're gonna pick up my phone because oh yeah, there's an opportunity there. But if I was just not listening or not talking about these things, or just I was talking about myself, you would say, I don't want to call.
No, I mean, when you do get a referral from someone, that's a good feeling and you want to reciprocate. So the fourth, should I even ask? The fourth of the core four of networking.
Following.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, come on. Really? I'm leaving. What's the fourth of the core four of networking? One more time. What is the fourth of the core four of networking? Yes.
Nailed it.
How to maintain.
I thought I was wrong.
How to maintain and grow relationships beyond the first meeting. Follow up. The fortune is in the FU, and that was coined by Al Moy. Al Moy. Following up. It shows you're serious, thoughtful, and you kind of give a crap again, right? You paid attention. You're following up now. And when you do follow up, well, we'll get there. How many people here collect business cards at these networking events and then do nothing with them? I have. I've been. Oh, who has been guilty of it? Right? I've been guilty of it. Yeah.
I think I still have them all. I still think I should go through them out. Yeah.
Got a big stack, right? Big shoebox.
Sure.
Oh man, I challenge everybody. The next networking event, not this one. The next networking event that you do go to, and you collect the cards. Go ahead and collect the cards, but when you get home, just
Say hi.
type them in. Or do you guys have CRMs, client relationship management software? You know, Google Contacts, throw them in there, at least something. At least start making that a habit. Try that. Remember, I said it here, then just try it. I'm trying to inspire you to do it. Yeah. Almost everybody has Google. You use Google Contacts. You just put them in there. Name, email, phone number. That's it. And then, well, we'll get to there. I'm getting ahead of myself. A quick message, this is why. A quick message you can send them on LinkedIn or email and just mention something about, you know, your conversation. And guess what, guys? If you paid attention, you'd have something to write in the email, right, about your conversation. So that's why you got to pay attention as well, so you can follow up correctly and meaningfully, if you will. All right. So again, yeah, don't overthink it. Just a quick message, you know, what's up, or mention something briefly about your conversation that you had in the networking event. That's all. It's powerful because a lot of people don't do it, as you can see, by the people that raise their hands. The third thing, or the second thing. No, that was the second thing. The third thing. Relationships, they grow between meetings, not just during them. How many here are married or have dated before or were married or whatever? Wow, everyone's like, what's up with that? Anyway, that's something different. If you didn't follow up when you were first dated your wife or what have you, what would happen, right? You gotta stay top of mind. You gotta keep sending the messages. So not just the first one, but you gotta continue to do it over time. Set up intervals, even if as a notification to pop up. If you're using, again, Google Contacts for lack of using a CRM, you could set that up for notifications to notify you to, hey, you know, send a message to so-and-so. That's the easiest way to do it. But you want to be top of mind. You don't just want that initial contact. You want to continue to contact. All right. What else do I have? Almost to the end, guys. Yeah, we're just about done. We're just about done. No, wait, not done, it's just about done. Hold on. How many people, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there.
It's a teaser.
That's on purpose. I'm going to recap. So, show up is the first one. Be yourself, be authentic, pay attention, and then follow up. That's it. That's the core for networking. It's not just networking. That's how you build a reputation. That's how you build relationships. That's how you get referrals. All right? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good question.
Something came to mind early in your speeching, and I'd like just to say it. You referred, in effect, to follow-up, etc. Think about this phrase, everybody. If you do something about it, if you try, you probably will succeed. If you don't do a damn thing, you're guaranteed to fail.
Absolutely. That's right. That's so true. Thank you for that.
Can you explain that CRM a little bit more? What is, like?
Yeah, client relationship management software. I mean, we could talk offline about that, and I could school you all about that. And
Yeah, yeah,
I'll give
yeah,
you point you in the right direction.
I mean,
on
we
that.
have like our website with like a database, but I don't know.
If you swing by my office, I can actually show you mine and how
Okay.
it functions. I can black out all the client's information, but I can show you how mine works.
So what does it do though? You can then blast out emails right from it,
Well,
or like
email, you use a CRM. Usually, they have an email marketing component that is extra. Sometimes it's a CRM by itself, and sometimes it's emails by itself. Sometimes it's in one package. It just depends on what you go with. But the whole point of the CRM is to manage your contacts.
Yeah.
Because once you get so many, you want to be able to keep touch
yeah,
with
we
people.
probably have 8,000 or something in
Yeah.
our database.
And that's an awesome email list too. I mean, you could, there's power in email, there's money in email lists.
Oh, yeah.
Big time.
The point is, I think you can do a lot of things instead of having like a whole bunch of different things you use. It kind
Yeah.
of blankets and accomplishes like 10 things at once.
I will teach you too.
Oh, thank you. This is
Sounds good.
fascinating.
Thank you.
Our
No, you're welcome.
spreadsheet.
If anybody
Yeah.
would like if they need any help with anything that I talked about today or anything else, let me know. Make sure I get your contact information if I don't have it already before I leave, or before you leave, or before you leave.
Tim, do you have like a
Thank you.
I should probably take mute off. All right, so what did you think? How'd I do? Well, you're about to find out by a professional in this next segment here. Anyhow, please share your feedback in the comments, even if you're watching the replay. I hope to see you at the next one, and I'm going to have somebody on in a few weeks to advertise the next class that's going to happen, but we won't talk about that now. Don't worry, I'll remind you about the when and where before the end of the month, because it's the beginning of next month is when it happens. Next Monday is week 3, so the topic will be pay attention, the importance of active listening and being fully engaged with others. I expect to have a guest then as well. Until then, show up, be yourself, pay attention, and most of all, follow up. If you got a story to tell or to share and you want to be on the show as a guest, reach out. I'd love to have you on. Seriously, let's do this. And if you catch me at a networking event, don't hesitate to pull me aside and let's make